We're filming from a beautiful building in Hillingdon. It's a grade 2 star listed building. I'm sure you'll enjoy the insights into what international schools such as this are all about. Welcome to Hillingdon Speaks, Bhavia. You're the marketing manager here, is that right?
Yes, I am, yeah.
And we met recently at the Hillingdon Chamber of Commerce event. Thank you, you hosted us brilliantly that evening. Tell us a little bit about your role, actually, firstly, what you do here.
Yeah, so firstly, it was, wonderful to welcome you. It's one of the things that we'd like to do more of is kind of open up our space to the local community. And that's where I come in a bit more. So I'm the marketing manager. I've been here for about slightly over 2 years now. So I do a whole variety of things, from social media, content creation, campaigns. So lots of emailing, prospective inquiries, events, so open days, that sort of thing. And one of my personal passions is, because I'm an international school baby myself. And I remember what it was like to be one of those students. So I like to kind of engage with our student community as well. So working with what we call our head hawks, who are kind of the equivalent of like a head boy or a head girl or student leaders, and kind of engage them and do some more kind of fun interactive stuff with them as well. So it's a spectrum of stuff. Yeah.
In terms of, you mentioned like the dynamic of international students, and you were one yourself, but how would it be different, do you think, as an international student? I know obviously away from family, that kind of thing, but just to give a kind of a perspective of how it would be for them, is there any particular things that you think about that you got to treat them differently or interact with them in a different way?
The way I see an international school, it's practically a simulation of the real world outside, with borders becoming less of an issue and the world getting smaller, and it's easier to kind of mesh and meet lots of people from different walks of life and backgrounds. That's a literal representation of what international school
like a microcosm of the wider world.
Exactly. We've got about, this year, for example, over 60 different nationalities. Amazing. Students who are holding, 1, 2, 3, 4 passports even. Wow. And, it's the whole environment of what a third culture kid is. And it's quite a special thing to call yourself a third culture kid. You're from one place, you identify as being from somewhere else, and it's that ease in which you can communicate with people from different backgrounds, which you learn at such a young age. We start from 3 years old, for example. 3-year-olds have communicated with their fellow students in ways that I don't necessarily see from other schools. And it's that tolerance, that awareness, that acceptance that
and I'd say confidence as well that will come, right? You're talking with so many different cultures and learning so much at a young age. And I think that the confidence must really set them up for later in life, definitely. And then going into the building where we are, is this a beautiful building? Is it grade 2 listed, I believe? And
it is. Our head of school likes to remind me it's actually grade 2 star, which is, I think, a little kind of zhuzh on what a grade 2 listed building is. It just has a bit more importance and significance. And ACS Hillingdon, or this campus, actually is very relevant for the borough of Hillingdon. It was home to, I think 1855, home to the first and up to 5 barons of Hillingdon, who belonged to the Mills family, who are a very prominent banking family. Then, it was transferred over to a nunnery or a convent group who, used our beautiful Red Room as a chapel. In the Second World War, we suffered bomb damage as well. But that hasn't necessarily affected how beautiful this campus looks. And then we took it on in 1978. So the building itself has had, a few different lives, each of which I think is very special and important to its heritage. And what we've done since is we've kind of expanded on what the campus looks like. So we've added facilities to it. And, just last year we added a beautiful sports
we saw that on that floor.
I mean, that gym is ridiculous.
And then in terms of, I know you want to promote more about the history of the place and getting to know some of the heritage. In terms of the way the building is and what you're looking to do in the future, how are you looking to use it in the future as well?
Well, we just want to kind of open it up to the community a bit more. There's lots of different ways in which, outside of, the fact that it's a school, that it could be used. We have a partnerships team, and they kind of try to reach out to, let me restart that.
That's right, don't worry.
We actually have 2 sister schools as well. So ACS Hillingdon is part of a group of 3 different schools. Okay. The other 2 are Surrey based. And all 3 schools, we kind of look at branching out into our community, looking at other schools within our area. So for example, we have football camps here and that sort of thing. What more can we do that serves our community and also makes the most of the beautiful facilities that we have? I mean, we're within the M25, so we're in London as far as I'm concerned. And but we have that space. We've got the green, we've got the indoor space as well. So it's just opening that up a bit more to everyone else. Yeah,
and then going back to even the students, like you said, over 50 nationalities, and I love the artwork that you guys got designed about where they're all from as well. And I'm sure there's a lot that you could help with the local community through that and all your international connections.
It's that awareness and kind of breaking any stereotypes or misconceptions that people might have who aren't familiar with what we do here. We're very different to a British school. We don't do A levels or GCSEs, and we focus on the International Baccalaureate as one of our prime curriculum pathways, and what that brings to quality of education and quality of life as well, and future career pathways.
Awesome. No, really good. And how could people kind of get involved? I know you're possibly looking at maybe even using the venue for other events other than school. So even if they don't have kids in the school, is there other ways that they can get involved with what you guys do?
I think step one is just reaching out and seeing what people would like to do. It's a very new thing for us to actually open up a school a bit more. So we want to know what our community is looking for and how we can match that. Right, in terms of what else? It's an interesting question. It's a very new area that we started to think about. The Nexus that we hosted, it was a mere few weeks after we joined the Commerce. So we're still very much babies. But, through the connections that we've developed there, we're looking at, we met a sumo champion and we met futsal, for example, 2 sports which are very fascinating. How can we involve that here? We also host an international fun day or an international food fair, inviting some of our local community to kind of meet our current families and our students and explore different cultures and that sort of thing as well.
So sounds very exciting, and definitely, hopefully, I'll get invited to the food fair.
Yes, please do.
I'm trying to invite myself along, but and in terms of just like as an overall thing about Hillingdon as well, I know you're a resident here as well. What kind of things do you like to do personally around here?
I think.
What do you like about the borough?
I do love the borough. I must say, I feel very safe in it. It's nice, kind of quiet. You've got lovely people around you. What I love particularly, which I'm sure a lot of people would say this, is Court Park. I spend a lot of my time there, and it's one of those places where I can go to de-stress. In the summer it's gorgeous. And you get to people watch as well, which is quite nice in an age where, we're always on our devices. It's actually just nice to see that human interaction.
It's a nice size as well, isn't it? It's not too big, not too small.
Exactly.
Things to see there.
And it motivates me to get my runs in as well.
You're getting your runs in. Okay, well, awesome.
Trying to stay a little bit fit as well.
No, thank you. It's been really good talking today, and just love what you guys are doing here as well. And obviously, if other people want to reach out, they can reach out through what's the best way to
Instagram. So we have our school Instagram page, which I manage, but we also via our website, we've got a couple of different email addresses depending on what you're looking for, whether it's admissions or just general inquiries.
Awesome. Great. All right. Thanks. Great to chat to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.